And welcome to the Inside Scoop. I'm Pat Riley, and we are here on location at the Friedman Middle School on Norton Avenue in Taunton, and at the Gerald Croto, outside the Gerald Croto Theater, where Fiddler on the Roof is going to be on stage very soon, a production of the Star Players, and we have with us right now Peter Hoy, who is very involved with Star Players and has been for a while. You're from Taunton, Peter, and you have Gina with you also. She's an intern. Pronounce your last name for me, Gina.
Caparelli.
Caparelli, and you're also from Taunton.
Yes.
And that's great, awesome. Peter, tell us about all of this. This is Star Players has been doing this for
26 years.
26 years.
Yep.
Thanks to Joel Thayer, started it 26 years ago.
Yep.
And every year I think people look forward to the wonderful productions.
Yeah, it's really become a Taunton tradition.
It has, and people from all around the area come to see it, and it's really an opportunity to see professional theater at without having to go into Boston or Providence or New York.
Yeah, and that's what we really like about
excellent.
About able to bring the arts to the greater Taunton community.
Mm-hmm. Now, what is your particular involvement with this production, Peter?
With this production, I am the business and box office manager for the company. So throughout the year, I manage the business office, and during the summer, I oversee the box office, which manages all tickets and publicity for the show. I also oversee Gina. She's my administrative intern this summer. So I've taught her how to run the box office, teach her how to do press releases, bulk mailings, all different types of publicity for the show. And then I'm also involved with helping to raise money for our silent auction fundraisers, our membership drive, program advertisements, and then I'm also in the ensemble as a papa in the show as well. So
it's a huge project, really.
Yeah.
I mean, this is, and people, I think they think of the summer production and that's it, but as you pointed out, Star Players is something that, is involved year-round, really.
Yes, I mean, all year, we have our big show in the summer, and some people do, like you said, think we kind of go away, but we're working all year with different fundraisers throughout the holidays, things like that. All really every year preparing for the big summer musical each year.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure it involves, raising quite a bit of money to put on a production like this. There's a lot of costs involved.
It does, and we've been very fortunate. We have a great membership base every year that are always so willing to, contribute to our membership drive. We have our program advertisements. We have our local sponsors throughout the community that have always been so supportive of us, and we really couldn't get anywhere without them. So every year, thankfully, they all come through for us and are able to support us so that we're able to continue the shows each year.
Excellent. And we still have tickets available for the production.
Plenty of great seats for all the shows still available.
It actually, opening night is going to be Friday, August
17th. Yep, 7:30.
And then you have shows through the weekend?
Yep, we have 3 shows this weekend, and then we reopen again Thursday. And Thursday, Friday, 2 shows Saturday, and we close Sunday the 26th.
Excellent, very good. Gina, have you been involved with the Star Players before this?
Yep, this is my 3rd show with the Star Players. The first show I volunteered on, The Magic of Christmas, and the most recent production of it. And I loved it so much that I applied for the internship on Chicago, and I was one of the set interns on Chicago, and I learned so much. So I came back again, and now I'm the administrative intern.
Excellent. And what has that involved? Just a lot, according to what Peter was telling us.
Well, yeah, I get to work with Peter, and I deal mostly with ticket orders and having people call, and I distribute the tickets and mail them out. And
Now, you went to Taunton schools.
Yes, I was at Taunton High School.
And does theater play a role in your future, do you feel?
Oh, yeah, I really hope to go into theater as a career. I'm majoring in it next year. So.
Excellent, very good, excellent. Now tell us about this show, Fiddler on the Roof. How did we come up with that for a production?
For why did we choose the show?
Yeah.
It's been a show we've been interested in for a while, and every year we do our audience survey, and we ask the audience what they'd like to see next year, and Fiddler was actually the top show for this year. So we decided, oh, well, this is what they want. We've been talking about it for a few years, so we decided to give it a go. And a lot of people have been saying they're very excited to see it. It's, a lot of people's favorite show. A lot of the cast was very enthusiastic about auditioning for it. So.
It's a large cast.
It is, yep. We have, I believe, over 50. I don't have the exact number in my mind, but.
And a large crew, obviously, too.
Yes, yep. We have 4 technical interns and some volunteers as well.
There must be a huge amount of coordination to pull off something like that, just with the sheer number of people involved.
There is, and thankfully we have a great staff working backstage that everything, schedules everything and makes sure everybody's where they need to be to make sure that everything goes off smoothly.
Gina, what can you tell us about this production? Why would people like to come to see Fiddler on the Roof?
Honestly, it's a very good time just watching it. Just the actors put so much into it that you can really see how much fun they're having, how much emotion goes into the parts in the show, and it's really, there's a big range of emotions that go into it. There's really fun scenes like To Life, and then there's really more emotional stuff when it comes to like the daughters falling in love and stuff like that. So I think that that's something just because the audience can experience that with the people on stage. So.
Would you say it's a family show? Something that all members of the family would enjoy?
Yeah, oh definitely.
Okay, great. And people are all excited about it, I can tell.
Yeah.
From seeing what's going on here.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to it.
When do you start working? Obviously, it was at last year's production that you selected Fiddler on the Roof. When do you start actually preparing?
We hold our auditions in the end of March, and so we usually will have the cast figured out by the beginning of April. Joel's kind of always working in his head on what's going to happen, but we really start to work in June. Is when the box office opens and tickets go on sale. And the first rehearsal start this year was July 9th. And so we rehearse 6 days a week in July, and we break up the group so everybody rehearses at a different time. But we rehearse straight through from July 9th right till our Tech Week, which is right now, and we open this weekend.
Which is a lot of time, but yet it really isn't when you consider, what you're putting together here.
Yeah, a lot of people are always very surprised.
Yeah.
They think we started in January, but it's a summer show. We have a lot of college students, things like that, so it's mostly just July. We're working behind the scenes throughout the spring and early summer, and then once July comes, it's full speed ahead.
Do you like this particular production?
I do. I think it's a lot of fun. Every production I've done with the Star Players has been different, and every show has their moments, and I have a lot of fun with the different numbers in this show and the cast. Everybody's great.
I have to say, too, this is a particularly good theater. I mean, it's beautifully air-conditioned for
Yes.
everybody that happens to be hot, and there really isn't a bad seat.
There isn't, and it's great. Everything's one level. I've sat in every area of the theater. I've been coming to Star Players shows almost my whole life, and I've sat in the back, I've sat in the front, and it's a great theater that there's very good sight lines.
The acoustics are great.
It's acoustics. It's a nice intimate theater. Like you said, air conditioned, handicap accessible.
And especially with this show, the way this set is, there's really no bad seats. Nothing on stage detracts from what you're seeing. So anywhere you sit in the theater, you're guaranteed to get a good show. So
Yeah.
Now, tell us about some of the things that are involved. Obviously, set design. Is that very challenging with this particular show?
Every show it's different. With this show, the biggest piece we have is the house, and it was really working with the set kids.
It'd be pretty big.
Yeah, to make sure it moved right, and it's multi-purpose so that we get scenes in the back of the house, the front of the house, and the set kids really worked very hard to get that all together and make it move like it had to, and they did a great job. It came out beautiful.
yeah, it's beautiful. It's my favorite part. It's
Really?
my favorite piece of scenery I've seen in a long time. It's wonderful, yeah.
Tell us about the music.
The music has been great. This year we're actually featuring what's called Orc Extra. So we're going to have 4 or 5 live musicians. We're going to have a live violin, 2 reeds, a percussionist, and a keyboard player. And the keyboard player will also be using a system called Orc Extra, which is a system that we're using through MTI, who owns the rights to Fiddler. And it's a system that it's a miniature keyboard, and it plays along with the live orchestra and enhances them and adds in different instruments and parts that aren't present in the theater and gives it a much fuller sound. So we've been hearing about it for a few years, and we've been told was a great show to try it with, so we decided we wanted to give it a try, and they sound great. I heard the live orchestra mixed with it on Saturday, and it's going to sound amazing. Amazing with the show. We have the first rehearsal with the cast and the orchestra tomorrow, and we're really looking forward to it.
Your cast are individuals from throughout the area, some right in Taunton, some in the surrounding area, some a little distance.
Yes, we have actors from all over. We have mostly greater Taunton community. We have some from Boston, Rhode Island, all around the community.
Peter, do you need like acting coaches, or do you find that the people that come forward and audition really are very talented and there isn't really too much to do along that line.
I think every show is different. It depends on the characters. A lot of our staff, have theater backgrounds, so they're really great at if we think an actor could do something differently, we try to kind of coach them and see, try this line this way, and it's kind of a give and take. We really like the actors to kind of bring their own touch to the character, because it really makes it a much more personal role for them rather than just us saying we'll do it this way. But we like to do some give and take. Well, how do you think your character should be? And then they kind of go back and forth, and we find the happy medium. And I think it really makes for a stronger character in the actor.
Absolutely. Obviously, as we mentioned, Joel Thayer started this group. He's been involved. He's a professional from New York, educated and trained in New York, and worked there before he brought this wonderful theater to the Taunton area.
He's done theater his whole life. He was educated at Yale Drama, did some off-Broadway, came back to Taunton, started it in 1987. And
one of the great things about this group, too, is that it's educational. It's a learning experience for the people that get involved.
Yes, the internship program.
Yeah, the internship program is wonderful. Like I said, this is my second year in the internship program, and it's really like unparalleled how much you can learn from the people at Star Players, because they have such a rich history in it. So it's very no matter what, you are learning when you're there. So
yeah, we really like to give them a hands-on experience, and they get to actually do the work and not just watch somebody else do it.
Do you have a favorite character in the play, Gina?
I really like Perchik, the student who comes to Anatevka. He's one of my favorite characters.
Excellent. How about you? The one you're playing, obviously.
I really get a kick out of Yenta.
Okay.
She's the matchmaker in the village, kind of the older woman, and she has some funny lines in matching up the girls with the men, and she's really entertaining to watch. Our actress Lisa Troy, who's playing her, is just a wonderful actress. And
Now tell us about your onstage role.
On stage, I am in the ensemble as one of the papas, so I'm featured throughout a number of the different shows, different show and dance breaks, and a couple little lines towards the end. So
Very good. We'll be sure to watch for that. Excellent. Now, how do people get tickets if they're interested, Gina?
To get tickets, you can call our box office. The
Have a number?
508-821-2524. And either Peter or I will take your call and get your tickets to you. So
yeah, we're there Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. And then some tickets will be available at the door the nights of the show, but that's on a first come first serve, and it's not guaranteed.
And you're taking a chance.
Yes, so definitely call and reserve.
Okay, very good. So it's exciting at this point. We're just a few days before opening night.
Yes.
You can kind of feel the excitement building.
Yeah, we're all very excited to we had our first day with costumes yesterday, and we're really excited to.
Can you describe how it is that opening night before that first curtain goes up? Everybody's kind of like
it's nerve-wracking.
It's a rush, yeah.
Because it's like, is everything ready? This went it'd be like, oh, this went wrong last time we performed it. I hope it doesn't. Will it run too long, too short?
Yeah, I think especially when you're on the staff too, like us, because we're working all day and night on it, and then we're here all day, and we're just every minute it's, oh my God, it's almost 7:30. It's almost at 2 hours, 1 hour. It's just a rush, but it really, I think, helps to give a great performance because you're so excited when the curtain goes up. And
that opening night, but then how do you keep it like opening night every night for every performance?
I think we really want to give the audience the best performance we can. So every night, knowing there's a new audience out there, we're always talking backstage of, they're really great. They laughed at that joke, they clapped. So it's just wanting to give the audience the best, and really feeding off the audience helps us give a great.
That really is important, that feedback that you get from the audience.
Yeah, and our audiences are great every year, so we're so fortunate to have such great.
And that's the great thing about theater, is you never know what's going to happen. So every day you go into
theater,
it, it's
a
new experience every night. So it could be a totally different show than the one you saw before. So
you could come every night. Excellent. You mentioned about members, supporting members and so forth. Tell us about that.
We host our membership drive every year. It runs on a calendar basis, and we offer a variety of different categories, and depending on your category, when you're a bronze member, which is a $100 donation, you get priority seating for opening night. Silver members, which is $250, get 2 complimentary opening night tickets. Gold members get 4 complimentary opening night, and that's for $500. And the producer circle is $1,000. You get 8 free opening night tickets. We also have the $50 family membership, $25 individual, and $10 students.
And you're supporting local theater.
Exactly.
Why
yeah.
is that important? Why is it important to have local theater, Peter?
I think it's just like you had said. It's bringing the arts to the community, not having to go out of the community. A lot of our patrons say, they love that they can just come down and right down the street in Taunton. They don't want to drive to New York or Providence or Boston.
Don't have to pay $50
exactly.
to get there.
We try to keep the cost as affordable as possible, and bring them the Broadway quality. Show, and that's why we love the membership drive. The money goes right into the to the sets, to the stage, to everything that the audience is seeing is all in part thanks to our great members and sponsors and ticket buyers.
How many people, supporters, would you say, just ballpark?
Oh God, maybe I can't even think, over 200
really?
members.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. Now, opening night or any of the shows, will there be information probably in the program booklet about how to become a member?
Yep, absolutely. There'll be a page in the program. You can also call us in the box office, or you can go to the Star Players website, which is starplayersbc.org, and there's a membership link there as well.
Do you remember, Gina, what the first show, live production you saw?
I think the first, in general, or at the Star Players?
In general.
In general, I have a cousin who was a professional ballerina, and that was what kind of got me into performing and performing arts, was watching her dance whenever I saw her. So
there's nothing like actually being there, is there, and seeing it live.
Yeah.
Excellent. So you're excited, and we're going to have a really great show.
Very excited.
Sounds like it'll
show.
be really entertaining for everybody.
It will, yes. It's going to be there's a lot of great singing, dancing, everything. The show has something for everybody.
Gina, what else can you tell those viewers out there? They just better get those tickets.
yeah, call us, get your tickets, and come down and see a great show. Just the work that everyone's put into it, the interns, the people in the show, the cast, crew, staff, everyone. It's fantastic.
Excellent. I think we have an actor or two that we're going to possibly talk with. Someone mentioned to me.
Yep.
Someone from the Taunton area.
Yeah,
so
we have Ed Valadeo playing Laser Wolf.
Excellent. Very good. So we'll pause for just a moment and be back with that. And we are here now with Ed Valadeo, well known in the Taunton area, and I understand that you're a character in this production.
Yes, Pat. This is my first quote-unquote principal role for Star Players. I'm playing Laser Wolf the Butcher in Fiddler on the Roof, of course.
You are. Excellent. And how much is involved in getting ready for that particular role?
Well, we get the scripts mailed out to us probably, I believe it was around the first week in June. And then, of course, along with sheet music and so forth, which gives us an opportunity to review our parts and of course, the musical roles. And we started rehearsing in mid-July. So it gives us about a month, pre-rehearsal to become familiar with the role and the music and our character. And then we start in earnest, like I say, mid-July, and we go on from there. And then, of course, with the excellent direction that we receive, it's really a pleasure and a lot of fun.
Now, you said you've been involved for a few years now.
Yeah, this is my fifth production with Star Players, counting one of the Christmas shows that we did at Bridgewater Raynham, that I did a couple of years ago. But it was Music Man, My Fair Lady, Hello Dolly, The Magic of Christmas, and fabulous, absolutely fabulous. It's been a very, very rewarding experience for me.
What prompted you to get involved that first year?
Well, some friends said, Ed, you like to sing, you like to be, the center of attention, and the life of the party. Have you ever considered, doing, amateur theater and, musicals and so forth? I said, no. Have you ever heard of Star Players? I said, well, of course. I know their reputation.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you, try out for Music Man? It happened to be that particular year, and I did, and I was chosen for the barbershop quartet, and I had a few little speaking roles, but it was exciting. Even though this is my favorite show by far, I love Fiddler, I always have fond memories of that first show because it was so new and exciting for me.
Now, how does your role in this compare to your role in the previous productions?
Well, it's not as much singing as it was in the previous productions, because usually I was cast as an ensemble singer or in one of the quartets, the barbershop quartet and the Cockney quartet, for the British flavor in My Fair Lady.
Right.
This is more, it's not so much a serious role, but I have a chance to put a little comedic accent into it every once in a while. But it was daunting at first because I've never had anything more than, let's say, a little bit part. But I was so pleased when they offered me the role, and I enthusiastically accepted, and I just enjoy doing it.
Did you try out for the particular role, or?
Well, it was an open audition.
Okay.
Everyone goes in, sings a prepared number and so forth. They asked me to read for a couple of other characters, in the play, and then I received a call from the director on Sunday evening saying, we liked what you did during the audition this weekend. We'd like to offer you Laser Wolf, and of course he didn't know it, but I was just, my feet were going up and down, on the living room floor, when he asked me to take that role, and I was more than happy to accept.
Tell us about the character. How did you get into that character?
He's an older gentleman, a widower, who's a butcher, very well off in the little town of Anatevka. And of course, he's feeling a little bit lonely in his old age, and he sees Tevia's oldest daughter, Seitel, in his butcher shop, every week, and he's taken a shine to her. And of course, back then, as history tells us, there were arranged marriages and, marriage agreements and so forth, and it really didn't matter about the age.
Right.
So this gentleman goes to Seitel's father, Tevye, of course, and asks for her hand. And of course, he not only looks at what the fellow looks like or his personality and so forth, he's looking at his daughter's future. So since Laser Wolf is very well off and he's a butcher, has his beautiful home and lots of money and is very successful, that's what Tevye is thinking about, and he would rather see his daughter set for life and not starve and not want for anything. He was a considerate father, in other words, but it didn't work out that way. And Laser got a little upset in the end, but everything was for the best.
Okay. Do you have a favorite part?
I like, as a matter of fact, during the exchange with Tevye initially in the tavern, where Tevye comes in and he thinks that Laser Wolf wants to buy his new milk cow. But of course, Laser knows what he wants to ask Tevye.
Right.
He thought Tevye had some sort of idea as far as where the conversation was going to go, but unfortunately, he has no clue. So it gets a little amusing towards the end.
Excellent. So it's a great show, great family show.
Definitely,
and
definitely.
This is such a great production,
It
great
is.
group, star players.
Star players. It's an honor and a privilege to be associated with such a fine group of people. I mean, even though this might be considered amateur, because we're all amateur actors. I know years ago when my aunt and uncle came up from Falmouth to see me in Music Man, they met me out in the hallway and they said, "Eddie, we've been to shows in New York that weren't as good." And so it's great. The ticket prices are very, very reasonable so that the entire family can come. And Joel and his staff and Carl and everyone, they just put on a fabulous first-class production.
And I've seen shows in Boston too, and the Star Players productions compare favorably with
Definitely, I agree
anything else you can
100%.
see. Now you're very involved, obviously, in the city of Taunton. How is the Star Players important to the city?
It's, and again, going back to what my aunt said, she goes, I was sitting in that theater, in Taunton, in the school, and she goes, it was like sitting in a theater in New York, maybe not as ornate, but as far as the sound system, the comfortability factor, if you will, the sets, the scenery, she says, you weren't in Taunton, and that just speaks volumes as far as what we have here in Taunton, to offer folks: arts, entertainment, food, and so forth. It's a destination for everyone, and it's so important that we have such culture.
It's part of that quality of life.
Exactly, exactly. I mean, I know you're very involved with Raynham, as I was brought up in Raynham, but being our closest city, our closest big city, so to speak.
Raynham started as part of Taunton.
Exactly, exactly. And it just speaks kudos for everyone involved. I mean, no matter what you want to take in Taunton, whether it be choral performances or theater or art shows, Taunton has everything to offer.
What kind of reaction do you get from the community, people you see in the community after you've been in one of these productions?
Well, a lot of compliments, of course, not just for me, but for the entire cast and in the production. They said, Ed, we knew you were going to get involved in things like that because folks that know me very well. I just enjoy being involved in the arts. I love to sing. I love to tell jokes. I love to do a little acting and so forth.
Do you get nervous before going on stage?
Not really. Believe it or not, Pat, I get more nervous in rehearsals because I want to be able to hit my mark. I want to say my lines exactly as they were meant to be.
And by the time you
Set.
get to the actual opening
Exactly.
night, you know what
I
you're
really,
doing.
I really don't want to think about it. I just
Yeah.
want to react to my fellow actors when they feed me the lines. I just want to be able to spew out my words effortlessly, so it gives that a very, very comfortable feeling to the audience that it's a very fluid conversation, whether it be a serious conversation or something with a little comedy in it. It's great. I just enjoy it. It takes
Sounds
up your summer a
awesome.
little bit, but it's a
Yeah,
commitment
sure.
that we all make, and when we finally step on stage for that opening night and folks, we hear those applauds,
It makes
that's
it worth
our
it.
reward. Definitely.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Well, that sounds great, and I can't wait. So thank
It's
you
gonna be a
very
great show.
much.
Thank you,
and
Pat. Always nice
the
seeing
best
you.
of luck. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We want to thank all of you for being with us as well. We'll see you on our next Inside Scoop.